Okay, everyone, welcome back to Sabado Sessions podcast. We're back. We're talking the week segment with Indy and Mo here. Indy's coming in a bit. Mo's here now, though. And yeah, today we're going to be discussing the men's portion of Worlds in Malta 2023. So, first and foremost, to kick it off, 59s, Mo, your boy is there. Kick us off, bro.
Mike, no working more.
Come on, man, just gulp it down, bro. Come on, it's just.
Bro, give me a chance. It's like we're recording this at like 11 p.m. Very dedicated to
Come,
this.
Man.
59 is going to be very exciting. I think highlight is going to be obviously our boy GB Ishak, who's going to be basically leading. He's going to be trying to vie for podium position. But we also have a very, very stacked 59 kg class. I think it's probably the most stacked it's been in a very, very long time. And also the largest number of lifters have ever signed up to actually compete in the 59s.
Oh, yeah.
Leading is going to be obviously Waskar from America. He's probably most likely going to win, like unless he drops the ball. In fact, I think his actual focus is getting as close as possible to the 95% of the world record, so he can potentially get a Shepherd invite.
Yeah,
that is a big total. That's almost 600 and I think it was 35. 32.
32? I think so, yeah.
Probably 32, 35. That is a massive total to hit and go aim for, so it'll be very impressive to see what they can do on the day. Second and third position, honestly, it's a free-for-all. All these boys can make a lot of progress, and I think a lot of them will be able to hit 600 or come very, very close to 600. It's a hard one to pick. I think the previous world champion is Garcia Antoine. He's not even top. He's like top 5, just entering top 5.
Yeah, he's fourth in nominations right now, man. It's crazy.
Nominations right now. But obviously we've got the lifters from Chinese Taipei. Everyone's very excited to see how the Chinese Taipei lot do. They're notorious for their success in weightlifting. I think these are still freshly new lifters. I don't think we'll be getting any surprises, most likely. But Zeng is not too far away from Leon Franklin, who's from Ecuador. It would have been nice if we had Espen here to obviously give us the insights on training.
Yeah, what Ecuadorians are doing right now, yeah.
But I think first position most likely will be Waskar. Second will be Leon based on predictions, but I don't know how he's going to replicate on the day. And then third, honestly, second and third could be anyone. It's so close.
Third and fourth nominations are the same right now with 585. Yeah. We've all seen Antoine, do his work and gets it in when the going gets tough. So yeah, it's tough one there. But well, who's your third? Would you say is Wei Shang?
For my third pick, we've even seen Ishtar, who's nominated all the way in 6, has posted at 580 training total.
To be fair, anyone could get third, man.
Anyone could,
from third nomination to up to, man, probably even 8th nomination, man. It's like,
and all these boys have big deadlifts. Like a 250 deadlift is almost regular. Like even the guy in 8th position pulls 250. It's like, it's insane. So anyone can make that podium pull. Most likely everyone will be pulling for a podium, as long as they've made good progress on the squat and bench. I'm actually, funny enough, I think I'll pick Ishak for third. I think Ishak, if he can pull together his squats, that's the main thing. If he can get a 190 squat, a 190, 195 squat, Ishak is really dangerous, because he's got that amazing deadlift that he hasn't actually pushed in a long time. And he's pulled 265 before, 262.5 before, a long time ago, but he has that in the bag.
Yeah.
The world stage is the best place to display that. All he needs is a squat, really. And he can make some serious damage in his weight class. But that's not to disregard Garcia, who's obviously the previous world champion, coming in. And you've got the guys from Sri Lanka, Samudu, Pradeep. So it'll be very impressive on the day to see who actually places where.
Yeah, definitely. Jurins, let's hear it, man. What's your pick?
Yeah, I think on this one, again, I think the runaway on this one, it's Waskar here, Carpio. I think he's just going to walk away with it. Because when you think about, I know we mentioned about that Sheffield invite for him is like what I think 632 or something like that to get a 95%. But in PA, he missed his last deadlift, which was like I think 268, and that would have given an extra 10 kilos in there. So that means we're talking about what 623. That's 10 more kilo to hit the 232 or whatever that is needed.
He's
and
just
I'm
got
sure,
to find the extra 5 in the squat and bench, and then he's sorted.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what probably the Americans will go for. They'll go for that 632 or whatever to get to Sheffield, and he's just gonna win because
I mean, from how his training is, whether he's been posting up right now, it's absolutely insane. So
his bench, he can bench maybe 140 or so, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna put him as first. My second, all right, Leon Franklin. Well, I'm gonna be a bit opposite to what Mo said. The reason I'm not even going to put him on podium here is he didn't turn up to South Africa. He was nominated. Well, he didn't turn up. So what make you say he's going to turn up to Malta? Just because of that basis, is I'm just not going to put him there. My second, potentially, I was thinking about the guy from Chinese, Zheng from Chinese Taipei. The only reason I'm saying that because they are sending a very good team. They're becoming one of the best powerlifting nation. When I'm talking about Raw, equipped already, they are very good equipped team. So Raw is actually catching up. So on that basis, I'm gonna put him up for second. And as Mo said, our boy Ishtiak, he just have to come out of that squat. Right? If he come out of that squat with a 3 squat, third, he's gonna pull for that third. Right? And he has got a big pull. Potentially, when you look at all the 59, he's probably has got. I'm talking about history-wise. When you look at it, he probably has got the biggest, or maybe the second biggest pull out of all these 59s. So he has in him. This is the world championship, and potentially, what he's been saying, this is his last meet as a 59. He doesn't have nothing to lose. When you need to load it for that third podium, he's just gonna have to load it, and I think he will load it for that third. So I'm gonna put him as my third. So top 3 is Waska the American first, Chinese Taipei second, and I'll pull Ishtiak third.
Oh damn! I mean, you know what? There's no denying that the first place pick is, for me anyway, it's going to be to Waska. But with regards to like the 2 and 3, I know Chinese Taipei is setting in a strong team and they're known for in the equipped side of things, but like the 585, I reckon Antoine Garcia can cover that. And like you said about Franklin Leon, like he didn't turn up to South Africa, so the chance of him turning up again is kind of 50-50 right now. So I'm not gonna rest my laurels on saying how the nominations is how it's gonna be. So instead, though, just on the just from like the past performances and actual like was it the turnouts, actually those turning up, I would say Antoine for second and our boy Ishi for third, man, because like you guys said, and I agree, he's pulled way more in competitions for deadlifts. He's pulled at 262. I see him replicating it, if not more, on the world stage, because he can. He's looking to bulk up to the weight class above in the 66 after this one. So if he's gonna send something to the moon, it's gonna be deadlift and most likely squat, like what Mo said. So yeah, those are my picks. I know Indy's not right here right now. He's coming in a little bit later, but I reckon he'll more or less back what we've picked so far in terms of 1s and 2s and 3s for the 59s. So moving on to 66, lads. You know what?
Hello.
Oh, hello, my like. Do you want to do your 1, 2, 3 for 59s, or you okay?
I heard what you said. I have no. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
I was here, but I was just sorting my life out, basically.
Sweet as. All right. Jurins, kick us off for the 66s, please.
Oh, the 66. This is another battle. I know we were talking about which one is exciting to watch. Man, you see just on the nomination alone, right? You see the top 3 guys, they're all going to Malta the world record total. This is insane.
I mean, it's crazy because third was it Kasim Sander currently holds the world record total. Kyoto just did Sheffield. You know, he did the meet just a week, like 10 days before Sheffield as well, and still did Sheffield. And then obviously
I
Brian
think he
Lee,
also didn't know, did he, that he could get dispensation or something along the lines of that?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I've that's what I heard through like the whispers anyway. But Jurins.
It's madness because again, right? They go into Malta with the top 3 world records totals. The top 300 deadlift, over 300 deadlift, all 3 of them. You know, I'm not talking about this is not 74 or 83. We're talking about a 66 here, which is mad. So getting to it, I think Brian Lee, that pool is just, Indy said isn't before, when you have that pool in you, you know, when things are so close like this, like what, 713.5, 712.5, 710, that's very close. And when he has that big pool, he can just load whatever he needs. He does not need to load more.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
And the thing about his pools, I don't know if you remember from his PA Nats, was that his jumps weren't that like crazy big. It was relatively big, but it was still within his comfort zone as well.
Yeah.
So if he just sticks to like pretty much the same game plan, possibly totaling more, then he's got the win in the bag.
Yeah, I think he's gonna walk away with this one. He's gonna win this one. So, and that bring us down to second and third. I know this Panna there, which is nominated 4th. Let me not forget, is a former world champion and he's European champion. You know, Ekip is coming, almost redemption time. You know, for the second time. So, do you know what I mean? It's coming. We all know last year, the entire year, Panna did chase for that Sheffield wild card, you know, and almost took him to the breaking point because of that Sheffield wild card. So this time where he would have to pull something ridiculous, right, to get that straight card. But I think Brian Lee will just be too much for Panna. And second, I'll go for Panna. The only reason I'm going for Panna second is he has got everything behind in terms of like the brand, the name, the reputation. So he has to put everything on the line on this. He will aim to get a podium to win, but I think that won't be enough to beat Brian Lee.
He does a massive cut as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Mo, we can't hear you, bro.
Mo, we can't hear you.
I feel like all these boys are going to be doing a big cut, so I think it will be a tricky one, really.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So my third, I'll give it to Kyoto, because the reason I'm going to give Kyoto third is because he's been to Sheffield, he's tested how Sheffield is. He will go to this one to push, and even if he push, I think again Brian Lee will just be too much for him.
You know, before I want Mo to chime in here, but I just want to bring up the fact that all these lads, top 3 lads, are traveling quite possibly one of the most longest distances to get to Malta. I mean,
compared to Panna, you're saying?
Compared to Panna, yeah. It's like Japan and Thailand, and then obviously Brian Lee from the America. Like it's mad, man. Like I can't even begin to fathom like the time zones they have to cross through, like the acclimatization. I don't know who is going to affect who the most, but out of all of them, like I guess Kyoto is the one that's been most trialed and tested, because like when he did Sheffield, he literally traveled halfway around the world from Japan to the UK. So I mean,
I have to say though, for me, going east to west, I feel less than going west to east. I've always, just me personally, like I've done a lot of east to west, west to east traveling. Just as an example, if I'm going from India to the UK, I'm fine, but going from the UK to India, I feel like I've been hit by a freight truck.
Yeah, Yeah,
That's
because
just me.
you're
I don't know
basically
how
you're
other people
losing
feel
time,
it.
innit? So I guess
It's just
like
weird. I don't know what it is.
yeah, I guess
But
like
Joey, saying that as well, right? Kasem San, he did totally that in the Middle East.
yeah, but he went from east to west as opposed to west to east.
Yeah, but that's Indy, isn't it? That's how Indy feels.
Yeah, that's
But
how
we're
I feel.
talking
Yeah, I
about in
suppose.
terms of
Yeah.
like travel here. That was a
Mhm.
Still
big trouble
travel
for him as well. To
irrespective.
be fair,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, Mo. Let's hear it, bro. What's your thoughts into this?
It's a tight battle. We have Brian Lee, who is obviously the favorite leading so far with that massive deadlift that can go anywhere, basically 318, 320, who knows. We have Kyoto, who looked very strong, but once he got to Sheffield, squats looked fine. Like squat looked fine, but when he went to bench and deadlift, you can almost see that travel starting to affect him a lot in terms of recovery. And you have to do that for Malta again because Japan's so far away. And he's a bit more of a technical lifter in terms of his squat. He starts and then retracts into position. His bench is arched, but also not so much. It's an interesting bench. And then deadlift, he has that very close grip with a wide stance. You know, there are a little bit more technical variables with Kyoto compared to everyone else. Kasim San is probably my dark horse for this competition.
Mm-hmm.
He looks strong. He's done a 320 pull. He squatted 250. He's benched 150, I think, something along those lines.
155, 255 squat. Yeah.
He's very, very, very strong. The question is, will he just perform? I don't know. I haven't seen him on the international IPF stage. Obviously, he's done the Dubai meet. There was the Asians. I don't know how he's going to perform. He potentially has the biggest potential to maybe even upset Brian Lee or just to be among the pack and not necessarily do anything special. Maybe even try and load the big deadlift and actually fall to fourth, fifth place maybe. And then we have Panna, who we've seen online do these massive gym totals. Panna's done 723, more than 720 at least 3 times now in the gym training totals. But once it comes to meet day, he just seems to struggle to be himself. You know, he just looks depleted and drained. Maybe he might be able to finalize the cut properly this time and execute properly. But I think so far, Brian Lee looks like our staple in terms of performance. And I think he went 6 for 9 at that PLA meet. He missed a few lifts. And then for second position, it's gonna be a tight battle in my mind between Kasim San and Panna. And then I think Kyoto might just due to those technicalities again, I think he'll perform better than Sheffield, but I think it's a hard ask to ask someone to travel halfway through the world and put up a record total while competing against other people that could potentially do the same.
On the flip side, though, considering Kyoto has experienced that already, he could have taken in those variables that may have affected him and then just improved on it.
I think the issue is he's done it once before.
Yeah.
But repetition is key. This will only be the second time for something this big. To say it won't affect you that much, you'd have to do it often.
Yeah.
He's not done it, in my opinion, often enough for you to say that won't be a variable.
And also, I think compared to like maybe a few people who could maybe like Panic could get there very early, you know, he's almost like a full-time power lifter, but handling other business things. Kyoto works as a fireman, you know, it's a fairly active job. So he might be restricted as to what he can actually do to get to Malta on time. I don't know. I haven't talked to him to see how early he's getting to Malta, but I think that travel will play a big impact on his performance.
All right. But yeah, so those your picks. So your 1, 2, 3 is what? Brian.
My 1, 2, 3 is Brian, second Panna, and then third Kasim Sang. Even though Kasim Sang has a bigger daily potential. So what's he happening is Brian Lee pulls ahead, Kasim Sang pulls a big deadlift to actually catch up with Brian Lee and maybe even surpass, but just misses.
Yeah.
And then Panna's pulled enough to secure his second position, and Kasim Sang drops into third position.
Nice. Indy, let's hear it, man. What's your thoughts on this?
I see Panna struggling. I don't know what it is. I genuinely don't know what it is. For me, it just seems I know the reason why I asked the cutting question is, for me, it always seems like the cuts seem to affect him the most. Like, personally, like it just like Mo said, he looks very, very depleted, and for a man who's at that end pulling quite slowly anyway, Like, do you know what I mean? Like the way he moves his lifts are quite slowly. That extra bit of being depleted affects that lift a lot more than like. So as an example, I know we said that Kyoto is very technical, but a cut won't affect technical lift. Only the fact that it's technical is affecting the technical lift. Whereas if you're quite a slow puller and you rely on the grind and then you're depleting, that's going to affect you more. For me, Brian Lee is going to win it. He's going to be first. I'm actually putting Kasim Santo second, right? And it's going to come as like an absolute shock. But I think Kyoto might be able to push the third. But Pana coming fourth. I think if Pana, the cut doesn't affect him as much. And he fixes the issues that he had at Europeans. I know there was a lot of to and fro and it shouldn't have happened, should have happened. Regardless, it happened. And we know what the judges are focusing on.
Yeah.
What they're focusing on for me is going to affect the French male lifters more than the French female lifters. If he can just prove it on all of his openers, he could get third. I don't see him getting better than third. I don't know why, but I don't. I'm being perfectly honest. He doesn't need to prove me wrong. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, obviously. He needs to prove it to the judges. If he can prove that, I think he might be able to. But this year, I don't see him getting better than third.
So who's your 1-2? Is it that Bangladeshi?
Lee, Kasim Sand, and then third for me is between Pana and Kyoto. If Kyoto can just nail down those tiny little things, niggles at Sheffield, I think he could take Pana.
Yeah. Wow. Well, just to another thing to consider is that the liftoff for the 66 class, these top three anyway, is at 7 p.m. So whoever has to like hold off a bigger cut, is going to be affected by the fact that through most of the day they're going to be in an absolute depletion from like any sort of like new food intake, So just from that alone and everything else. But in terms of my picks, I'm actually gonna do the opposite of what everyone's saying and put Kyoto as the number one for the upset, and possibly even like, you know what, I'm gonna back it and say Pana for second, and then Brian Lee for third. I don't know, man. Like that travel time from west to east, the fact that Brian Lee has yet to prove himself. There's no shade of it in his abilities, but we all are aware that it's very like feasible for it to happen that that travel has to be taken into account in terms of performance. So yeah, so that's my 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that's it for the 66s, right, lads? All right, so for 74s, Indy, kick us off, bro.
God, here we go. I know it's gonna be it's gonna come down to this. Oh, he's the GOAT, everything's fine. Yeah, but Taylor looked fallible at Sheffield. Injuries are a thing. Injuries are a thing that everyone deals with. Everyone has to deal with. I'm not sure if this is the first time that he's had to deal with injuries, but at this level, being injured can massively like hinder. I know he said he got food poisoning as well. I'm not saying he's lying, but I don't know if I believe it. Like, because I watched his YouTube videos, I know what his diet's like. He's on like 1,800 calories, right? Before your biggest meet ever, you're not gonna go to have a kebab when you're on such low calories. It doesn't add up in my head.
Yeah.
Like he had a bad meet. If he just said, "Look, I had a bad meet, I'm coming back," I'll be like, "Fucking, let's go." But like the deflection like makes me think what's going on, like what's happening. But he is generally speaking, he's Mr. Consistent, isn't he? He's very close between the nominated first and the nominated second. And there's not much difference. There's like between the lifts either. There's not actually that much going on. It's like 5 kg on the bench, I think it is, and like 17 kg, 7 kg on the deadlift, something like that. It's not big. It's gonna come down to like who can go 9 for 9. Like a 9 for 9 strong Taylor. He's not really touchable by anyone, is he? He's like, there's a reason why he's like up there nominated first. So for me, if Taylor can go 9 for 9, he'll win. He'll win like comfortably as well. If for whatever reason something happens and he even misses like a singular lift, I think the Norwegian will take it. I think that the Taipei guys I don't know much about him, so I can't comment. I can't comment on a lot of the Chinese Taipei lifters on them. But the Swedes are always like strong favorites most of the time.
Yeah, like Carl Johansson, man, like his training has just been going up and up.
Did he pull like 330 or something?
Yeah, he did. It's insane.
I actually see him pulling into fucking second, as weird as that sounds. You know, like, cause that's a big fucking deadlift, man.
It's a massive deadlift.
It is. Fuck, that's big. That's bigger than everyone else's. Yeah.
That's insane. If he can bring that deadlift in, he can push, and make the other guys like fucking think twice. If Taylor has a bad day, genuinely has a bad day, and he brings that deadlift in, bro, there's no reason why he can't pull into first. Like that would be such an upset, wouldn't it?
Just
you know what?
Just
because of that, I'm gonna say.
What?
I'm gonna speak into existence. You know.
I was gonna say like when he pulled out 330, right? Taylor went into the comments and said, "Oh, chill, I need to break this next year at Sheffield." Basically, he's gonna win the 74s and just pull this deadlift next year.
It's not gonna happen, is it? Like, let's be honest. I'm actually gonna speak it into existence, right? Just because I can, and fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? I'm gonna put Carl in for first. You know.
Oh shit, bro! My boy.
I'm gonna piss some fucking people off. I know Jurins is fucking. I don't give a fuck, Jurins. Fuck you. I'm putting Carl in for first. I'm putting Taylor in for second. I'm putting Eagle, the Norwegian, in for third. For me personally.
Kill Eagle. Oh my days.
Well,
that would be a mad upset, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
Mo, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it.
It's a tight battle. I mean, I think at this point, to be honest with you, it's a big ask to bet against Taylor. But if there was a cast of characters that could give Taylor problems, this is one of them.
Yeah,
you know, you've got the GOAT killer, Kjell, coming back into raw powerlifting. He's just on European equipped and looked good.
Yeah,
and he doesn't look injured like he was before. Fan Chun is a massive bencher. Benches 210. You know, it's insane. He'll be looking to push that bench record as much as he can. Johansson Carl looks to be on this trajectory that is just upwards and onwards. You know, 330 deadlift, a 275 kg squat, or 155, 160 bench, something like that, moved relatively easy. I think he looks very, very strong. But there's one person who's just waiting behind. That's Timothy Monagati. Of everyone, I think Tim's due a meet. He's due something. At some point, he needs to. He's been so strong that it doesn't make sense how he's not won anything.
Yeah.
Oh, Indy, I think your thing's off. You're muted.
No, don't worry. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Tim's due a day, and he's if he can't do in the 83s, I think the 74s is where it is for him. He looks strong. He's doing 270 for backups and moving it ridiculously easy. Deadlift looks strong around 315 maybe, and then bench looks consistent.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very tight.
Top 8 is tight as hell, man. But like, you know what? I was just looking into this. Like when you mentioned the Chunxia fan guy from Chinese Taipei, bro, how nuts would it be? Like these guys are actually the sleepers this coming worlds. Like they're just coming in like, yeah, we're like, you know, sort of like 3rd, 4th, 5th in nominations, and then coming up with the most mind-blowing totals. It's like anything could happen. I think anyway.
It's like I know everyone was saying like last Sheffield. I think Taylor will win this. I think Taylor's won so many meets that he knows how to win. That's one thing Taylor's learned how to do over the years. He knows how to win. But for example, for Sheffield last year, everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, Taylor's gonna get 40K because he's gonna get all the 5Ks and all the records and everything." Taylor ain't touching shit this next Sheffield. Like these guys are gonna push it so hard.
Yeah,
like you're talking about
330
deadlift. You're talking about maybe a 215 bench. Kajal can squat the world. You know, he's built to squat.
Bro, Stephen Day from Australia with a 285, man. Jesus.
Yeah, so they are very, very strong people in this weight class, and it'll be very fun to see how the battle plays out.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3 for you is who?
1, 2, 3 for me is going to be Taylor, and then I'm going to put Kajal. I think Kajal plays second, and then third I'm going to put Johansson Carl.
Gee.
But
yeah,
but Team Monegatti can destroy that and place first. But I just have a feeling based off history, Tim is still a good meet. But if we have to look at the data, I think Tim might perform well, but just not well enough to place in the top 2.
All right, Jurins, let's hear it, man. What's your take?
I think for me is like, again, I think I'm not gonna repeat what all of you guys said. In 909, Taylor is a GOAT. You can't touch Taylor. So I know people been saying Taylor is injured, he's injured, he's injured. To me, he's not. Right, he's coming to this because he just posted like what he pulled 310 like it was nothing. So I mean, someone that was injured, he wouldn't be putting 310 kilos just like that, right? So he's not injured. He's coming to world as a full fit, healthy Taylor. But at the same time, I think these guys have got enough in them to upset the pack, to upset, not to upset the pack, but to upset Taylor. They have got enough. So Shell is a good friend. I talk to him pretty much every single week. His training is going really well. He's healthy. He's the only one that ever beaten Taylor. So has he got enough to do it again? I don't think no. My skinny friend, the skinny, good-looking Kiwi, I think this is his world championship to lose. Right? Because Tim at 75 kilo body weight is squatting 292 and 292.5 kilos. But even if you lose that 1 kilo, he can still score 285, 287.5. But I think I go back to what Mo said. This world record squat is not something Taylor's going to be chasing in Sheffield, saying, "Oh, we're going to get 5 bags." No, these people are going to shit on him massively. And to me, I think Tim, this is the first world championship where Taylor will feel how to be a competitive powerlifter to be chased, feels like. Because he's been such at the top, he never had a challenge. Right? He can walk and sip to me. This is the only one Taylor will realize this is the world championship. You actually got the rest of the world competing against you. You know what I mean? This is what Taylor's gonna feel.
Yeah. So who's your third pick? Sorry.
Let me just finish off. I'm gonna go for Tim to win this one.
Tim.
Taylor to come. Yeah. Tim Monagatti will win this one because things I've been seeing a lot of people haven't seen. So Tim's gonna win this one for me.
Pause.
So yeah, my skinny friend.
Getting those private DMs late in the night.
I don't care. As soon as he said
1,000 men reference.
As soon as he said to me I'm going 74. As soon as he said to me I'm going 74, I was like, thank you God, I don't need to stress about you. Anyway, Tim's gonna win this one for me, and Taylor is gonna come second. So for third, I would have put Shell at third, but because Carl had that deadlift, I know we said it's pulled 330. When he comes to Malta, I don't think that 330 will be there. But he's going to break the world record, which is what, 322.5. He can probably pull 325, but 330 won't be there. So I'll pull Carl third.
Whoa, man. I mean, in terms of my 1, 2, 3, I won't take it away from Taylor. I know everyone said this, but yeah, I think it's Taylor's one to win. But I will say this. Those that are in like 2, 3, 4 like position, they're gonna make it like annoying for him to be in Sheffield, like because there's a squat record to beat, there's a bench record to beat, there's a deadlift record to beat. Like there's no second guessing. It's like what Carl can post up. Like yo, I see him like chipping the world record in a second dead, and then blowing up to whatever he needs to like bag a podium, like second, even third, man, like at the very least. So Yeah, so nice healthy Taylor, like does what he needs to win, the formula to it to win. Yeah, I'll put him there as 1. The 2, I reckon Kiel, man. Kiel. I mean, he's done. I know he's beaten Taylor. Sorry, Shell. He's done it before. He's beaten Taylor before, but man, like a formidable fucking Taylor. I don't know, man. I don't think so. Put him for 2, and 3. Like it could easily. You know what? Carl could easily be 2. Whatever he gets at the end of the day, because like I'm not saying it's not even that I'm shitting on his squat and bench, because they're decent too. Like it's on the rise. So man, I'll still put for 3, but that's not a confident 3. It could be 2, and it could be switched around as easy as that. But yeah, those are my pick, lads. So let's move it on to what with the A3. Let's start with Indy.
I have one thing to say.
What's up?
Jurins is coming first, and I don't give a fuck about the rest.
Cheese. Look at him smiling. That's his smile now.
That's what I look like now, right now. I don't give a fuck. Nah, for real. I back Jurins, bro. I back Jurins to the world. I can't deal with that dancing shit. Like, it hurts my head. I am being funny, but if I want to see dancing on a stage, I'll go to a ballet or I'll fucking pay a spin. Bro, I come here to see lifting, and I come here to see lifts. That's it. Like, as soon as the dancing started, I turned off. I switched off completely, and I was like, "Yo, when's my 1? I don't care." That's what I did, chef. As bad as it's, I know it sounds bad, but that's me. Like, it was just too weird for me. So I'm put Jurins at first, and I'll put whoever else is an 83-second third.
All right, Mo, fix up your mic and let's hear what you have to say, bro.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know I was muted. I think we're gonna see a world record tempo squat at
Damn.
Malta. Definitely, it's gonna be.
I saw a tempo squat today. Did you know?
Sorry.
I saw a tempo squat today.
Oh, did you see a tempo squat today?
I saw a tempo squat today.
Bloody yeah, it was amazing. It's impressive. It's actually they should make a tempo squat championships. Jurins would win, like hands down.
Well, you know what? It was weird, right? Because I was watching. Sorry to break it. I was watching Jurins squat today, and I had to like clean my eyes because I was, when you're watching a phone, and sometimes the internet goes, so it like stops on a video. I thought my real life had stopped. I was like, "Is Jurins stopped?" Oh no, he's squatting still. But it wasn't on the way up. It was on the way down.
It's like a tempo pause. Tempo, and then shit, this is actually easy. Let me do this.
Have you ever when you're like driving and you're driving really fast and you see like the moon and it just doesn't look like it's moving, and then all of a sudden it's in a different direction? Is that watching a squat?
But I think let's not disregard Delaney's strong, and he looks strong at Sheffield. That bench is, I think, if there's one thing that makes or breaks Delaney's total, is the bench, because that 200 kg bench is crucial. Now, here's where things get. Jurins is strong. I mean, we've all seen Jurins in training right here. We know the boys come in for everything. He's basically said, if you're not planning on breaking the world record total, you might as well stay at home and take your pictures with white light media. But if Delaney can get his third bench, that's a big total to battle with. And that's going to be Jurins. We need to pull something big at the end. If Delaney misses his third bench and has to load something big on the deadlift, honestly, I think Enne will actually come second and Delaney will potentially come third at this championships.
Whoa, now, that's wild, bro.
I think Jurins for first. Enne, there's two versions. Enne's keeping everything under wraps right now, but I know Enne is also studying. He's got a university degree, but he's in his final year. So if it's been a comfortable final year for Enne and he's healthy, we've seen what he can do. We've seen that deadlift. We've seen the potential on the squat. I think Enne can put something ridiculous together. Not ridiculous enough to challenge someone as well-rounded as Jurins and Delaney. They go 9 for 9. But if, for example, Delaney, because Jurins has that monster deadlift from what we saw from GB Nationals, his deadlift is really coming together, right? And it can be in this tactical position where he could potentially edge into second. But Delaney is also very, very strong. Jurins is also very, very strong. But for my picks, I'm going to go Jurins first, Enne second, and Delaney third.
Yeah, boy. Wild, let's go. Bro. You know what? Fuck it. I'm with Mo. Yo, I already put Jurins first. I said I don't care about the rest, but yo, I'm a Mo, bro. Let's go, Anna, bro. Let's do it. Load
Well,
that
I think
400
it's just because
five.
Delaney's going to be chasing a big total. We all know he wants that Ross total.
Yeah.
And all his stats will be placed to get him that Ross total.
Yeah.
And we know, we saw it with Pana, right? You know, like chasing that wild card, chasing that wild card, chasing that. When all you give a fuck about is chasing that number, looking at others, chasing that number. Like, we know people have been in Jurins' inbox asking him how his training's going. Who the fuck does that? Like, are we taking a piss? I keep saying to people, you need to focus on your goddamn self. And I have fucking people saying, no, I need to look at competition. Fuck the competition. Blow your own lift out the water. And I think that's going to be the difference. He's probably already in his own head about the lifts, not during Delaney.
You know, before Jurins goes, I'll just say my picks. Obviously, I will back my brother Jurins #1 all day, every day. Even when he played second last year, I still backed him to come first. But I don't give a fuck. I stick with my word.
If he didn't choose to tempo his third attempt, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yo. Yeah, I mean, could be. You know, I rely on you lads that are gonna be there to sort of just like remind him, like he needs to pop out that hole. But
yeah, all I need to remind him is to fucking do his warm ups properly. That's what I need to remind him what to do.
That mad jump. But yeah, I mean the reasoning behind it, I mean, I've seen from the forefront of all how his training's going. It's gonna be tough for anyone else to come close. I know that's a really big thing to say, but man, like,
It is what it is.
It's not even just that. It's to the point where just when I think he cannot get better, he does. So on that basis alone, if this is gonna rattle anyone, boy, that's on you, innit? But so yeah, during the first, for second and third, like, I don't know, man. Like, I was listening to what Nick Manders was saying and everything else. Whatever A3 has been saying, but I'll still back it. It's going to be a flip of what happened last year. Second place goes to Delaney, and third, you know what, yo, I love Enna. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I don't know if he's got what it takes to be that third, because Edo, his squat can consistently be up there. You know, potentially like matching what Jurins can do. Not like immensely close, but close enough. And then he's got a relatively okay bench, and it's that deadlift. I know it's growing, so it's basically the dominations, but flip around 1 and 2, and then Edo for third. That's my picks, man. But yeah, anyone else got to say anything else before we move on to the 93s?
No, I think also just worth noting, Delaney is strong.
So what about me? Am I not picking?
Oh,
you're not allowed to pick,
I mean, if you're gonna be honest, let's go. What's your pick, bro?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna win.
All right, cool.
All right. The thing is, like, don't get me wrong, right? Delaney is the man to beat in Malta, and he will be beaten. No jokes, right? So I think I said this to Flex. Bring him to Malta healthy and going for 9 for 9. I know a lot of people be saying, yeah, but Delaney you can't match that 8:35, or he did at Sheffield. He was a pull away from Russ World record. I kid you not. I'm not even looking at Russ World record. To me, that's nothing. If I get Russ World record only this year, I'll be disappointed. Do you know what I mean? So the reality is, me and Delaney will be pushing whether you like or no, Russ World record will fall before 2024 Sheffield. It will fall. Me, I'll have 2 crack on it. I can Malta and Euros. Whether we like it or not, it's gonna fall. But all I'm saying, who's gonna win in Malta? I'm winning in Malta. Delaney have to go 9 for 9 and make sure he improve from Malta, from Sheffield, for him to have a chance to beat me. But if he hasn't, he's not beating me at Malta. You know, he's a good guy. He's a good lad. He has a good head on his shoulders. But this is powerlifting. I'm winning. So my second, I will give it to Anna. The reason I'm going to give it to Anna is because Anna's going to load.
What do you man know that we don't, bro? What the fuck?
Anna is way too quiet. I'm posting way too many dumb shit. Dumb
to be
things.
honest,
Also, normally if training's going bad, Eno posts sad songs, and he's kind of posting like, you know, just okay songs now.
I've been to be honest, I've been talking to him, and me and him been sharing lifts. Well, I share my lifts with him, but he shares his lifts with me, and I don't hide shit from him, or I don't care. And I see him pulling for the second. You know, I know Nick Mendes was talking about, oh, he will be the first, the only person in IPF that can fight deadlift bout. There's no battle in that deadlift and Nick. There's no one exists in Malta. Take that from me. So Anna is pulling for that third. So for him, I mean, he can even pull for. He's pulling for that second. He can even aim for me. If I mess up, he will aim for it.
Jeez.
You know,
Why
no
would
jokes.
he, you know?
Yeah, if I don't go 9 for 9 in Malta, Anna will aim for the top spot. So yeah, again, me, Delaney, me, Anna, and Delaney third. The reason I'm putting Delaney ahead of Edo is, again, Delaney is a strong guy. He's a strong, very, very strong guy. The only reason I put him third compared to Anna is Anna has the biggest pool out of all of us, and he tried it in South Africa. We all saw. He even he left Delaney in tears at the back. So it means he doesn't need 385. You know, if he doesn't need it, he will lower that deadlift to go that second spot. That's the only reason I'm putting Delaney third. But if Anna deadlift doesn't show up, then Delaney will come second. But me, yeah, as I said, Delaney need to be beat. Delaney is the man to beat, and he will be beaten in Malta. That's it.
Damn. Yo, shit. Well, 93s. Mo, let's go.
93s is a stacked class, but honestly,
Bro, where do you start here, yo?
Sorry?
I was like, where do you even start here, Mo? Okay. Especially considering how much of a data whore you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be according to the data, I don't fucking know.
But yeah, shit. Yo, Mo,
days.
let's go. Give us over, man. Anyway, let's go.
I think this is a Keiko versus Gavin battle.
Yo, you're gonna sleep on Gustav?
Are you sleeping on Gustav, bro?
I'm not sleeping on Gustav. Gustav looks strong. Gustav looks very, very strong. But Gustav is a tall motherfucker.
Is he not taller than you, bro?
He's almost the same height as me. He's not taller than me, but he's almost as tall as Emil. I think just a little bit shorter than Emil Norlin. And Gustav looks strong, but if you see Gustav the day before the championships, unless he's doing a different cutting routine, Gustav looks like he should be a 105. Like, he's got sunken eyes. So the cut always affects Gustav. That's the only problem. Now, he might have dialed that nutrition in and come amazing. And he looks amazing right now. Like, his number, he looks untouchable. Like, he looks insanely strong. But my only problem is, just based off what we've seen previously, unfortunately, when it comes to that last deadlift, and I think just because of the cut, Gustav always tends to miss that last pull. And the last pull tends to be the most crucial thing for him. You know, he can do on Swedish soil, perfect. He's got the home crowd, he's got the home food, the seafood is amazing, everything. But when it comes to competition and weighing in and competing, he's just always, that last deadlift has just always eluded him. So that's why I think it's going to be a Keiko versus Gavin show. Emil Krastev is also then that battle, but I think Keiko and Gavin have this beef to settle that they're just going to elevate themselves to a different standard.
Well, it could get to a point where that beef is just going to like shroud them to what's actually happening with everyone else.
Yep, that's my issue.
True, but if there's any one of those lifters who I think could potentially get affected by the battle, it most likely would be Gavin. I don't see Keiko. Keiko was conservative at Sheffield. Like, I was there warming up with him. You know, that squat, that third, he wasn't feeling good in squats at all. He did not feel good. There's no way he'll do a 2.5 kg jump if he was having a decent day, right? He just, from the get-go for warm for squat, you could just see he felt off throughout. He looked good coming into competition. He looked prepared, but as soon as he started warming for squats, you could just sense something was wrong. But by the time he got to bench and deadlifts, he looked like a different person on that platform. Like,
oh yeah, especially for deads, Jesus.
Exactly, he was having so much fun after that period. So I think Keiko will basically bring a bigger total, and I think Gavin's going to really push that. I think he's going to come for that squat he missed. I don't think he's going to push it to something new. I
But
think he's just going to go for
show
that
that he
exact
can
spot
get it, yeah.
and just sink it, because he's done it before. He just needs to sink it, right? That adds an extra 10 kilos to his total. Now, Keiko has to bench and deadlift to catch up to that. If Gavin tries to go over what he attempted at Sheffield, he's really just asking for trouble, and then he just drops, and Emil and Gustav will be in position. But the way I see it playing out is most likely going to be Keiko set a big enough total. Well, actually, Gavin will set the biggest total. Then Keiko will need to pull a deadlift to chip whatever Gavin's done. Gustav most likely will set a total to pull into first, but he might just miss on that. And then Emil will kind of be there just waiting opportunistically to see who falls off that podium to maybe where they can get on or not. But I think it's going to be a battle between Gavin and Keiko for first, and then Gustav and Emil could potentially sneak into there.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, bro. Just say it now.
1, 2, 3. Keiko, Gavin, and Emil.
Krastev, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Indy.
Yeah, bro, this is a fucking according to the data. Bro, this is difficult. I don't see Keiko losing personally. Like,
yeah, I hear that, man.
Bro, that whole I just got that, you know, the image of, like, you know, when he's going out for the deadlift.
Yeah, and it pans in.
For me, it's just any single fucking 93 walking past and Keiko just going. Like, I'll just have that, like, vision in my head. Keiko's not losing this, in my opinion. I think he's got the full package. Like, I see people pulling away on the squats to begin with. Obviously, Keiko will just, like, keep coming along. He's gonna pull away.
Stays in the pocket. Stays in the pocket.
Stays in the pocket. He just pulls so far away on the bench. Like, not even pull away, just pulls closer. That's like his trump card, and it's a trump card that isn't if, it's not will he, it's not will the cut affect it, it's not will, like, the pause, nothing affects this guy's fucking bench, bro. It's
insane, man.
It's Mr. Consistent on his bench. He's not going to miss. He's going to get 3 benches, right? It's all about how much he's going to push away on the bench, and then all he needs to do is just keep up on the deadlift.
Yeah,
that's it. So Keiko wins, hands down for me. I don't think Gavin's going to come close. I think that what I saw of Gavin, he's a fantastic lifter, but what I saw of him at Sheffield is he's going to be so fucking hyper fixated on beating Keiko, proving himself, making these lifts, fixing the mistakes he makes at Sheffield. I think he's not going to see Emil coming.
I see that too, to be honest, man. Like,
that's the thing I see. Gustav's strong, but like we said, that cut might be too much. Probably going to affect him, regardless of where he's nominated. See Keiko coming first. Gavin overreaching, just overextending that little bit too much, trying to chase him, and Emil goes for the throat, bro. So, Keiko, Emil, then Gavin.
Wow, first.
Mad. Jurins, let's go, man. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna steer the pot a bit. I think this will be a one-way class that the Americans won't win. Right.
Okay.
There will be, again, as you guys mentioned, that American battle that Keiko and Gavin show, it will follow up in Malta. And they will, you remember last year in South Africa, I kid you not, I was in the audience, right? I was literally sitting there when Keiko misses bench, and I said to everyone around me, Keiko is not winning today. Right? Because it's almost like, to him, until South Africa was Mr. Perfect. He have never missed the lift. Well, when he missed that, again, this one, again, you guys covered that already, the battle between him and Gavin, because Gavin, Keiko is this sweet, nice guy that's strong as fuck. But Gavin is this kid that comes in and wants everything to himself. Do you know what I mean? I want to be the number one American. I want to be the guy. I want to be the last person to score, the last person to jump on the platform for that gold medal. That is Gavin. You know, I think that's probably the Italian in him. But I think this Malta is going to be different to me. I'm going to put Emil first. The reason I'm putting Emil first is because Krastev is healthy. And me and Krastev have got the same nutrition, which is Kedrick. And I talked to Krashev, I talked to Kendrick.
Yo, what's with this insider trading, bro?
Yeah, bro, let's go. Like, let's deep.
I'm not here to sell out the numbers, but what Emil is pushing in training, Kaiko have to be Mr. Perfect of 2021 to beat Emil.
Whoa.
And Gavin, that squat world record, not even jokes. I don't even think if he gets that squat world record is going to be enough. Because again, if we're talking about, I know Indy talk about the bench is miles ahead. What Emil has been doing is not miles ahead.
Yeah, no, I get that. I see where you're coming from. 100%. I know what you mean. I've seen it, and I hear that.
But
it's difficult.
Yeah, the only problem for me there is that basically Emil squats less than Keiko, benches less than Keiko.
No, the squat is squat more than Keiko. Remember, Emil was injured. He was injured for the Euros. He was injured for Sheffield. Did you just see Emil 300?
I saw the 300 squat. Yeah.
So anyway, to me, Emil first, Keiko second, and I'll put Gavin fourth and Gustav third. The reason for that is Gavin will overreach.
This is my thing. I think this is what keeps coming back to me. I keep seeing it. I'm not saying he is arrogant. I'm saying it's the I deserve this mentality. Sometimes
he's strong. He's a strong boy. He's the youngest, isn't it, out of all of them?
Oh yeah, very strong.
You know, he's strong as fuck. But I'm just thinking the reason I'm saying I put Emil to win, guys. We all watch South Africa. No one knew that Emil will come out nowhere and get second spot.
I mean, it's gonna be a year. It's gonna be a year from then on, man. So
yeah, I think Emil's gonna win this one.
Posting up something nasty.
Yeah, I think Emil's gonna push this one, and Emil is probably. I mean, okay. Jokes aside, I think Emil's aiming for 900.
See. Okay, let me say, because I wanted to say this earlier. To be honest with you, now that I've actually thought about it, Gustav.
Oh God, he's changing.
I don't. No, so I struggle to. So for everyone who competed at Sheffield, right? Sheffield was just 9 weeks ago. It's hard. It's already a miracle to even, especially if they had like an 8 for 9 day. It's already a miracle if we can replicate that at Malta. You know, to ask for more on the day, it's a tough big ask, especially. Unless you've been planning for Malta long term, and Sheffield was like a follow-up training session leading to Malta.
I think we all saw that it wasn't that.
Yeah, it wasn't that. What wasn't that?
That the Sheffield was just a follow-up comp.
Oh yeah. So basically, like Gavin spent 6 months, 7 months training for Sheffield. Now it's a big. I don't know. We'll see what happens on the day. But Gustav actually now looks like a very good candidate to actually win, because everyone will potentially underperform, rather than actually Gustav being stronger. It's everyone actually underperforming and Gustav just being fresher for the meet.
Damn. Well, I mean, going off that, you know what? Just to make it easier for everyone, I'll still back Keiko to win, but it won't be as far out as what was initially thought, because obviously Jurins has highlighted the fact that Emil's coming hot. So all it takes is going to be one of those things that if somehow, you know, Keiko misses that one crucial lift, Emil could capitalize. And so, but until then, I say Keiko first, Emil second, and fuck it, Gavin third. I'm not saying that his misses will be that detrimental to his performance, but it will cost him the win, basically. But all right, are we good for 93s? Mo, kick us off with the 105s, baby.
All right, so 105s, we have myself in 5th position.
Oh, hold on. For 93, one thing we forgot: Christian for gold medal deadlift.
Thank you.
There's a potential for it, definitely. It's going to be a battle between Christian, Sasha, And between those two, actually.
Yeah,
that's
just between those two for me, to be honest.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
For
And I'm going to back Christian for it. Christian's
We
going
got
to
to
load
back
for that
Christian
gold.
for that.
One of
Carry
fives.
on.
Oh, let's go.
So 105s is actually, this is an insane weight class. Like, I was going to say, obviously, I'm going to win it, but jokes apart, the 105s is stupidly stacked. You're talking about Ben Pape barely even making into the top eight. That's insane considering Pape was nominated fifth last year. Right. We have Emil Nolan, who with a nominated total of 928. I think realistically speaking, he's going to be around 910, 915, considering the performance at Sheffield. We have Abdullah with a 915 total, but Abdullah's gone through some time chamber and made insane progress, because Abdullah is squatting 350, benching 220, and deadlifting 370. So he looks very, very, very strong. Potentially could be on the 930, 940 range, right? We have Micah Davis with a 912.5 based off Sheffield and what we've seen, potentially either going to be around 910, 912.5 again. I don't see him making a lot of progress. And then we have Anatoly, who's in fourth position, but he's recently competed in Ukraine with a massive 940 total at nationals, which is just insane. And he's got a 360, ridiculous speed. But Anatoly has posted a 360 squat before, and then the next week failed to do the 316 competition, right? So you never know what you're going to get with Anatoly until squats actually finish. And then we have Coco Clement, who is obviously overdue a good day, 895, but he did that 2 years ago. We have myself with 900, which was on a 6 or 9 day. We have Ben Pape, who looks very, very, very strong, really squeezing his glutes now on deadlifts.
Fucking such a bellet, don't you?
He looks amazing. And then we have the new kid from Canada, who I think actually picked up an injury, but potentially looked on track for 900 total. So
top eight is 900s, man. Jeez, 900
top eight is ridiculously stacked. But I think the real battle between Anatoly and potentially Abdullah. If Abdullah is really, from what we can see online, Abdullah looks to be able to put up 940, which is insane, right? But the battle between Abdullah and Anatoly, who's actually going to end up on top. And then there's just going to be this group with Emil Nolan, Micah Davis, myself, Coco, and Pape, where we're going to be battling to see who can potentially get that third medal position.
Before I ask for a 1, 2, 3, I want to hear what Jurins thinks of this too, because I know he speaks to, well, obviously these guys, Norling and the like, a bit more than I do. So, Jurins, what's your take so far?
I think here, right? I still believe Anatoly is the man to beat, right? Because I know we said he can score 360 and doesn't show up in 360. Again, I think this go back to what I said on the ladies previous. When you come to the Ukrainian handling and the Polish handling, they have got that old school mentality of let's give it all in the first lift. Do you know what I mean? You see Anatoly coming out with like a 350 opener. And sometimes you're thinking, what the fuck? If you dial it down to 335, 350, you can probably score over 365. But then the last time he scored the world record, remember in, I think in 2021, he just came out with 343 as a world record opener.
Yeah.
You just go like, what the fuck? I don't care what weight class you are. So again, I believe because he's showing he's healthy now. If he can, remember in South Africa, he couldn't make it because I think it was a visa issue and whatever.
Yeah.
But this is an European, so I'm just praying he makes it, because the Arnold here, he missed it. He couldn't come. So I'm just praying for this one. He showed up. If he showed up in Malta, he's still going to be the man to be for me. Literally, I know the 105 is stuck, but when Anatoly shows up, it's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
Abdul, what you said and more, I respect that. On the online, he looks really strong. He can potentially be the first African to win a world championship at the 105. But he looks really, really strong. But again, I think would it be enough for Anatoly? I don't think so. I'm not just gonna age out that maybe 5 kilo or something like that. Third, so yeah, that means like I'm gonna slot Abdul to third there. If he can bring all those lifts that he's showing on social media, I'll bring him for second.
Well, what's he showing on social media?
I mean, he
350
looks good.
squat,
Well, he looks in
220 bench.
350, bro. He's mad, bro. You know. So if
That's
he can bring those
nuts.
lifts, then I'm gonna put him for second. My third is between Mo and Nolan. But I'll
sorry.
go
I
for
thought
Mo.
when you mentioned Abdul earlier, I thought you meant Mo.
No. But man is scoring 350. You think Mo's gonna score 345? Bro,
I
our
mean,
third, I
knowing
think.
him, he'll
Money,
probably try, bruv.
But
He'll
money,
probably
he's
try
all
and be
about
like,
talking
yeah,
grams,
about
bro.
burn all the ships.
my third, I'm gonna pull
Joey, 600.
between Mo and Nolan. I think this is this is probably the first time Mo's gonna beat Nolan. The reason I'm saying that is Nolan has relied on that deadlift all his life until Sheffield, and the cracks start showing, right? So I think Mo, with sensible attempt, he will outpull Nolan for that third.
Emphasis on the sensible.
And to be fair, even if let's just say Abdul makes one squat, because when you think about it, his deadlift and Mo's deadlift on the platform is not far off.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So, but on that last pull, Mo had that last pull, and I really strongly believe, if a good attempt, if Mo doesn't change his squat stem, start doing a panna and all of that, I think Mo has the potential to pull for second.
Damn. Indy,
I really, the 105, literally, I see Mo has the potential to pull that last deadlift for second. I say it. But at the moment, because of what he did in Sheffield, I put him third.
Damn. Indy, let's go. What's your take, my brother?
Here we go. Right. I think Anatoly coming in well with like decent lift selection, but like we said, will be difficult to beat.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest issue is if he does what Norling did at Sheffield and just people need to stop looking at that fucking end goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like just that hyper fixation on this is the total I want to hit, right? And then basing all of their lifts off that. I think it serves a purpose to a point, but for a lot of people it then becomes detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the issue a lot of people had in Sheffield is they were so focused on, yo, I need to hit that world record. They didn't even bother looking at how their training was going, how they were feeling. And these are big experienced lifters. And it's fucking confusing to me that big experienced lifters are making silly mistakes like this. Because for me, it's a silly mistake. I think Anatoly, because he's had that little bit of extra time to prepare, beat with.
Was that Indy? Yeah, sorry, go on.
He hasn't had those negatives like Norling's had and stuff like that. Like Sheffield, like Mo said, and like we've alluded to so far, as good as Sheffield was, for a lot of people, I think that was also a speed bump. It like slowed them down more than it helped them in the long run, because obviously they were fixated on getting that money, and I think that alone will allow Anatoly to pull away from the pack. I don't think Norling's going to have his best meet, if I'm honest. I think he might struggle a little bit. I reckon he's going to be struggling on his squat. His bench will be okay, and he'll miss his third dead. Struggled, and a Norling who struggles on his squat and misses his third dead is not going to place top 3. In this. If this happens, I'm not saying it will. If he struggles on his squat, misses his third dead, he's not going to come top 3. I know Coco's due a big meet. I just think the way he trains is not conducive to big meets. The high squats, the leaning forward. Like, I know I take the piss out of it, but judges are openly looking out for that. They've openly said they're looking out for that now. I think he's going to struggle with that. Michael Davis has been complaining about loads of problems in his lifting and stuff like that. Don't know if it's just tactics to throw people off. You just don't know these days. But I don't see him coming top 3 either. It's gonna sound really, really fucking like shitty of me just being like all these lifters are doing X, Y, and Z. If Mo just fucking screws his head on straight, right, and stops fucking thinking with his forward-leaning squat and starts thinking with his backward-leaning fucking brain, I think he can do quite well at Worlds. Bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I think Ben's looking fucking so fucking strong. It's ridiculous.
Bro, it's so scary, you know.
I know he's a strong boy. He's built to be a 105.
105s
He's built to be a 105.
Are fucking scary. I haven't seen Abdullah personally. I'm not following him. I know he's had a massive growth spurt, strength spurt, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I can't comment on him. Like, going off what Mo said, I reckon him and Anatoly are probably going to be fighting for first and second. See where it lands, see who things affect more. Because obviously there's a lot going on with Anatoly's country and stuff like that. He's working, he's doing shifts. There's a lot of external factors. Honestly, bro, I see fucking. I think if Mo just take your time, enjoy it, have fun, stop stressing yourself out, stop stressing your handlers out.
Yeah.
You're lucky, bro, because if you hear what Indy said there, bro, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Mo, bro. Imagine you heard what Indy just said before he lagged
Indy
out.
said it again.
I think that would be a GB a third.
GB a third? Jeez. Man, like...
personally, going off how things have been moving for people, I don't see. I know this is going to come back to haunt all of us, but I don't see. I see Norling just doing the same mistakes he made at Sheffield. If he learns from those mistakes, he can keep his spot and give Anatoly and Abdullah a run for their money. But Anatoly's just had a better run up to this comp, I think. For me personally.
Okay, Mo, let's go.
I back my GB boys.
Let's go, Mo. Let's hear it finally. Your 1, 2, 3, baby.
My 1, 2, 3 for this competition. Oh, that's a tricky one. I think I'm gonna go with Anatoly first. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go with Anatoly first. I'm gonna go with Abdullah second, based off what we've seen online, and then third position, I'm gonna have to go with myself for third.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good man. He's gonna make sensible attempt now.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. And you know, as for my picks, I would say, you know, heavy favorite Anatoly for first. Bro, like, I don't know how heavy Abdullah is sitting usually, but if it's anything to go by from what he's lifting and then the cut, and hopefully the discrepancy won't be too much, I'll put him for second. And then for third, because this seems to be the theme this evening, is I'll back a Brit for third.
Brit third and fourth. It's got to be Brit third and fourth.
No, I said a Brit. I said a Brit for third. Why are you trying to
change
my picks, bro?
Norling is very tight though. Norling is very tightly there.
Yeah, exactly.
So Norling could easily be third also.
It's just for me. It's very interchangeable between those. Like I think who turns up on the day.
To me, for Norling, even before Sheffield, literally, I was sitting there in the audience. I'm no prophet or anything, but I was expecting Norling not to have the best Sheffield. The only reason I'm saying that is because, again, I've been talking to him a little bit on DMs. You know, when you're having this is in the one we spoke today, the external factors, they play the major role into your lifting and your performance. This is a man that went from, first of all, he's a firefighter. You know, he just had a baby, and when I'm saying he's building a house, it's not like he's doing a renovation. No, he's building a house from scratch, and he's not having builder to do it. He's doing it himself.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So that is not small.
There's people in the UK who can't even build a total. That's not a shade at anyone here. That's not a shade at anyone here, because I know everyone's fucking thinking, but generally speaking, this is, yeah.
So basically, to say these are the external factors that potentially, if they play a part for Malta, it's going to be tough for him.
That's
very
to consider,
tough,
definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
And I trust Mo's pull for that potentially second spot. Literally, no jokes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
like
and I wouldn't
honestly,
be,
we're
and
just gonna have that big faith that he gets that third pull, and then
yeah,
it's gonna
I
be
wouldn't be
like
surprised even if like Indy. I wouldn't even surprised we see a second and third for Brits. I would not be
Bro,
surprised.
this is what I mean. This is what I was fucking speaking about. This is what I was saying. Like, Mo, your biggest downfall is just fucking that the load anything thing. You need to just start giving some fucking feedback to your handlers. Yeah, bro. And then please do at least 2 back-to-back squats with the same stance.
Yeah, at least you're 1 and 2, and then you could do whatever for your third, at least.
Oh my days.
Remember, stand up straight. Yeah. Don't French it up.
But yeah, we're good to move to the 120s. Indy, you can kick us off, bro.
Bro, I'll tell you straight. Tony's gonna win,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm coming second.
Jeez. Okay. I think do we all like unanimously agree?
Bro,
1 and 2.
One, two
I
is pretty
feel
locked in.
bro, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I agree. 1, 2, 3 is gonna be how it is, bro. I genuinely don't think there could be a number you could put on the bar that I wouldn't fucking lift for that third. Bro, that's all I know. So I give a fuck about. Squat's looking nice. We don't talk about bench, and Dead's looking nice. So
yeah, I mean, from what I witnessed today, I can't argue with that.
what you mean the 320 top set with 315 back offs?
Okay. Okay.
I'm lucky Mo's not there to snitch.
Bro,
he'd be right
he'd
there.
be
Look on
putting it on his
notepad.
screens and make sure all the ops see it. Like,
Yeah, you know how it goes, bro. Tony's looking strong, man. Tony's looking really, really
oh
good.
yeah,
he's booking his ticket to Sheffield. Simple. He is booking his fucking ticket to Sheffield. I genuinely think, like, if he just carries on the way he is, he'll be like the first IPF 120 to touch a K.
Oh shit! Actually, it's doable.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a bad lift.
Yeah, he's like
all rounder.
Like yo, and you'd never think that his age is his age.
Yeah,
doing what he's doing.
Unlike Jurins, he actually is nearly a masters lifter, and he's still smashing it.
What's been unlike Jurins?
Bro, you just pretend you're fucking old, bro. I know your knees fucking snap, crackle, and pop, but you're still sprightly.
I'm still 7 years. 7 years? Come on.
Yeah, this is what I mean. So you're young, so don't give me this bullshit about I'm old, I'm
6 years.
cold, I'm bold.
6
You're
years.
neither of the above.
6 years, by the way.
You got ages left, but Tony's gonna make a statement.
Yeah,
Tony could go 6'9" and win at Worlds.
Jeez,
bro, think about it.
Yeah, it should be fair. Yeah,
if you think about it, like it's.
I mean, he went 7 for 9 at Brits and still absolutely put up an insane total.
Insane total. So one extra lift on that is not going to be the fucking world's difference, bro. But he's looking good. And he's Mr. I have loads of people there saying, yo, if he slips up, you can do this. If he slips up, I'm like, he's literally the most consistent classic lifter that Britain's ever had.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, Jurins and Mo, let's hear it, man.
Look, with me, right, again, just not even let's go, bro. Tony's walking away with this one, right? I think what Tony will be doing is he will gaze at him and come in and tell Indy, come on, stay on my tail. Do you know what I mean? That's what's going to happen, literally. He's not going to be like, oh, I'm competing against you. He's going to be like, look, I don't need to look at my numbers. Me and Tony were vibing,
bro. Me and Tony were like dancing, having a laugh at British, because like, this is what we do.
Yeah. That's what I say, like, it's literally going to be like, oh, Indy, come on, stay on my tail. Don't stay too behind. Do you know what I mean? Because this 120s in Malta is the Brits show, right? The rest of the world, they have to find a way to break that deal. They have to find a way, right? And the only way I can see here, the only crack they have is in this bench. That's the only window they have, you know.
And he just said we don't talk about bench, bro.
That's what I'm saying. The only crack, the only chance they have is whoever need to planning for second, they need to bench pretty much the same as Tony Cliff for them to come second. If it's not gonna, because even if it bench 220, 230, Indy was gonna pull 400 or 410 or 415. Do you know what I mean? Whatever you need. So to me, it's
the earth, bro. The earth.
To me, it's like
I'm just pulling roots out of Malta, bro. Just like fucking.
I think to me, it's 21st, Indy second. Indy is all about. It's just gonna happen. Indy will load whatever he want, whatever he needs. So I know people talking about 400. People talking about 386. Maybe man don't need that. Maybe he's just gonna need 370. Maybe 360. Do you know what I mean? And he's gonna load whatever he needs for him to get to a second spot to secure it. And hopefully he can secure on the second.
You know what? If second is secure, come second dead, bro, send it. Like if it's all right with you, send it on the third, please.
Can I shout?
I think
even if it's 391. Please,
can I please,
bro.
while I'm doing it, can I shout Mo's name?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Mo, do I have your permission to shout your name? Look how quiet he is.
He's pretending that he didn't hear you.
But... No, I can't. Sorry. I didn't. I was looking at
have you got cramped again?
Senk. No, I was looking at Senk for 120 plus. Sorry, what?
But anyway,
man's not even paying attention. You know, we're talking about my weight class, and now he's just stoned out.
Yeah.
But I think again, right? I mean, let me just finish off.
Last night head was 391.
And you just blacked out.
You know,
my microphone literally just started.
Jurins goes 391. Mo goes.
I think Tony's gonna win this. Indy second. Again, as I said, Indy will put whatever he needs. And third.
Do you give him permission, Mo, by the way? You didn't answer his question.
What was this? No, I didn't hear the question.
The question was if he pulls 391, can he scream your name?
Hell yeah, boys.
I'm not gonna lie though, he's gonna hold that
current record.
He's gonna hold that for
record is
time.
only 390, isn't it, in the 120 pluses?
Yeah,
he's 385.
385
on Bryce. Hell yeah, man. The hell?
I'm not gonna lie though, he's gonna hold it for a while because your name is long, bro.
What, Mo?
No, he's not gonna say Mo. He's gonna say your government name, bro.
Well, dude, what's my government name?
Abdul Mohammed.
Whatever it says on your passport, baby. Like, I don't know.
So how do you know?
Well, obviously he's gonna look at your passport before his third attempt.
How's he gonna look at my passport before his third attempt?
He's gonna rub it off you, innit? Via Jurins.
It's not London, bro. Anyway, what the hell?
Anyway, let me finish. My top three is like Tony Cliff win this one by Marl, and he's not gonna touch what's his name? What's the Americans? The 120 world total. Dennis world record total is not. Tony is not gonna touch it. What's the point when he can get bags in Sheffield? So Tony is gonna win this. Indy will come second. My third, I know there is Mohammed there from Egypt, which is a very, very good lifter. Watch him like a few times. He has a very good squat, 360. Probably is the one that's going to walk away with the gold medal there. If he can maintain that 360, my third will go to him. I know there is Nicolas Peru, but Peru is the youngest out of all of them. All depend on how much Peru has grown for the past year since the Euros. But again, I see like the Algerian being too strong. That's my third there.
Cool. Yeah, Mo, 1, 2, 3.
No, 1, 2, 3 will definitely be Tony. It would just be a question of how close Tony's going to get to Dennis Cornelius' total record. Mostly he's not going to chip. He's not going to break anything that he doesn't need to break. Yeah. But I think Tony will have a great day. Indy's also do an amazing day. I mean, Indy looks ridiculously strong right now. Honestly, if Sahad is not having a 360 day, Tony, Indy's definitely in the battle for that gold medal and squat. Like, it's gonna be really, really fun to see what Indy can pull up. And also, when it comes to the deadlift, lower that bar. Honestly, maybe in fact you could probably put only with the same flat as Jesus, and both of them could go toe to toe. See who comes out with a bigger pull. It's gonna be very insane.
Jesus, no pressure,
It's gonna be very insane to see what Indy can put together on the day. In all honesty, if Tony's overreaching massively, like if Tony misses his third squat, misses his third bench, and let's say misses his third deadlift, Indy will
That's a
be
win,
very
though.
tempted.
Yeah,
Will be
that's a win,
very
though.
tempted
He will
because
load. He will
realistically
load for it.
speaking, his second attempt will secure second position unless somebody comes up with a 50 kg total increase or something insane.
Yeah.
Indy's second attempt most likely will secure his second position.
Mhm.
So he has nothing to lose in this competition to load up and maybe gives Tony a scare even. So it'll be very interesting to see what Tony and Indy can put. Definitely a 1-2 for GB. And then in third position will be most likely Sahad Mohammed, but Nicola Perud is very, very young, very, very light in the 120 class and progressing very quickly. He might have an issue with his squat stance because obviously we haven't seen much update on his training. Actually, we haven't seen a lot of updates on the French lifters in terms. Well, we've seen a few videos, but they don't seem to have changed an awful lot. So it depends on what the judges are saying on the day. They obviously have their own French head coaches that would have gone to their IPF board to inquire what's the actual limits and what's the actual rules. So I think they'll be adapting to fit on that day. But I think Peru might actually clinch it if Mohammed is not having a good day. Generally speaking, I think Perry might be able to come into third position. So I actually pick Perry for third, Indy for second. Very, very close to Tony if Tony's missing on the day.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, lads, last but not least.
What about your 1, 2, 3?
Bro, I think my 1, 2, 3 is everyone's 1, 2, 3. So Tony, Indy. But you know what? I'll put Nicholas Peru as third, actually.
Yeah, I'll put Nicholas as third too.
Yeah, so I agree. Whatever Mo said, I back it. It's pretty much the same points. I'm pretty sure like whatever's been notified towards Nicholas about his squat stance, then like he's an athlete through and through. He'll do what it takes to, make the adaptations needed. So yeah, 120 plus guys. Let's go, Jurins.
Is it even worth talking about 120 plus?
The Oliveira show, man. It's 1, 2, 3 is pretty solid.
Bro, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it is, man.
But 2 and 3 is very interchangeable depending on what happens.
The 120 plus. No offense to the rest of the lifters. I know powerlifting is a free lift sport. He can win it with his on his squat. You know what I mean?
It's insane squat, man.
I'm just talking about in terms of like
66.5 kilo difference, man.
Yeah, I'm just talking about if we translate squat to pound, he can win it. You know what I mean? So, Jesus, I think the good thing about this one, Jesus, I know a lot of people have been talking about, you can just go there, have a chill day and walk into Sheffield. I still believe Jesus will break a world record. Right? But I don't think he's going to break the world record squat because that's 5K in Sheffield.
Yep.
But I think he's going to break the world record total.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's going to break it by a small margin. Yeah, he's going to break it by a small margin. Something he knows he can potentially reach in Sheffield. So hear me out. He has a 410 deadlift. He does not need to deadlift 410. He can match 410 or even deadlift less than that. Jesus will push his bench press because the bench press world record at 120 plus is a massive 290 kilos.
Yeah. And the person who's done it is also there.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he's going to have an attempt on it. I think he's from what? Algeria, isn't it?
Yeah, the Algerians.
291 kilos.
Huge lifter.
And I think that's the only lift that Jesus doesn't have as a world record. Right?
Well, he's collecting it all like infinity stones.
I know he doesn't have the squat, which is, he doesn't have the squat, which is like
his arms are too long to ever touch that. I think his arms are way too long to ever touch that.
What he's gonna do is he's gonna bench like 270, right? And that means that's another 10 kilo on the world record total.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's where my rationale is. He's gonna break the world record total, but he's gonna break it by benching more, not on the squatting more or on deadlifting more, not by benching more because he need to push that bench. So I'm expecting this to be, especially is on the Eurosport as well. He's been told and he knows this, right? And this is gonna be amazing. My second will go to Tema. The reason I'm giving Tema my second is I really believe, right? I really believe he is the one that Jesus is going to pass the torch to. He's 3 years younger than Jesus, and he's doing things Jesus has done as his age. That's what he's doing, and give him another 3 years. And I don't see why not he can be doing, because as much as we're talking about Jesus is the best powerlifter of all time, Jesus is getting all this world record, which is what? 1,152, right? That's the world record.
Yeah.
Do you see that number getting into 1,300? Maybe not.
Oh,
you know, you know what I mean?
That's
No,
huge.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
That's huge. So it means Temwa is growing, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's the one that will be chasing for the Jesus world record.
Yeah,
literally.
That's a legit battle of titans, man.
Yeah, his 403 moved like nothing at the Euros. But he opted out not to take a third because he didn't need a third anyway, Yeah. And so he's my second. My third, I'll give it to Koshak.
Junior.
Yeah. The reason I'm giving Koshak my third is because Koshak's deadlift, I can't trust it. And every single world championship I've seen him, he's been chasing for that 400. He's loaded that 400 so many times.
He's pulled it so many times.
Yeah, he's pulled it in the gym or in the national so many times. But every time when he comes to the world championship, misses it. I think one of the world championship I watched, he even went for 400 in the second attempt, so he can take a crack on it 2 times and missed.
And he went easy on squat and bench also, just literally to get the 400.
Just to get a 400. So what Jesus has done has crushed his career. It has crushed his confidence. Because he's not going to be the first man in powerlifting in what IPF tested to pull 400, because Jesus has done that already, right? So yeah, to me, I will put him third, as he has got a big deadlift. So you always trust a man with a big deadlift, isn't it?
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's me there.
Well, for me, I'll be short and sweet. I'll be pretty much backing as nominations stands. I mean, if the game plan by Jesus is what Jurins said, I'm all for it. I mean, who doesn't like a guy who's trying to collect like each and every record in each individual lift? Like freaking Thanos and his Infinity Stones. That's insane. Like, yo, that's amazing. Like that in itself. So yeah, 1, 2, 3 is Jesus. Was it Senk for third? Timo for second and Senk for third. Yeah. Mo, last but not least, bro. 1, 2, 3, so we can cap this off.
Oliveira's definitely, this is the Oliveira show. He's just going to do whatever he needs to do on the day. Timo is very young and strong, so definitely going to be pushing that total as far as he can, or as far as he wants to do, because he also has like the junior world record total to also push. Still a junior, which is insane. And then Senk. But Senk has to be careful not to overload on the deadlift, because if he starts missing attempts, especially if he takes a big jump on deadlift, Dimitro or Musa may be even able to catch up to him.
It opens up that window.
It makes big jumps. At that 120 plus, you're jumping 40 kilos on each attempt, So Senk has to be careful, but most likely it's going to be 1, 2, 3, Jesus, Timur, and Senk.
Yeah, well, man, like everyone, if you're still listening to up to now, thank you.
We didn't do best lifter, right?
We didn't even do that for women's. Anyways,
probably 93.
Because we forgot.
Probably most likely 93.
Yes, I think it's going to be a 93.
It's going to be a 93.
I think Taylor will win it if he goes 9 for 9, go over 800. He'll win it. But if he doesn't,
Taylor's not going to do over 800.
Yeah, but if he doesn't, a 93. These 93. I mean, I know this might sound a little bit cocky and might sound a bit stupid for me to say. I wouldn't be surprised if these 93 actually push north 890.
I'll be very surprised.
If they don't, or if they do?
If they do.
If they do push 890?
Yeah, I'll be very, very surprised.
Bro, there's a bunch of them talking about 900, bro.
It happened, dog.
Well, it's good to talk, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. So there's another question about like actually posting it up. But yeah, on that note, everyone, for anyone listening to the Sabado Sessions podcast, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative or entertaining at the very least. Again, share, like, subscribe, support us, the lads. Cannot thank Mo, Indy, and Annie Nelson for the women's episode at that, for, you know, jumping in and sharing their tales, because these guys are going ham. And then, yeah, there's going to be it for a while. The hiatus is going to be pretty much happening. These guys are going to be away competing. So until the next one, we'll catch you and hopefully tune in to more episodes. Peace.